Narcolepsy is a debilitating autoimmune disorder characterized by symptoms like sleep paralysis, an overwhelming daytime drowsiness, and something called cataplexy, which is a sudden loss of voluntary muscle control while a person is wide awake.
And while there is treatment for this, there is absolutely no cure.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Tim.
And I'm Gail.
And you are Chasing the Joneses. In April 2020, we answered the call to go full-time RVing on mission to share the good news of Jesus Christ with over 1.8 million people living on wheels.
Yeah. Now, we've been in ministry now for about 20 years, and in 2003, I was diagnosed with narcolepsy. At that point, we had to make some major changes in our lives to continue what we were doing. And those included a medication schedule, exercise, a scheduled nap routine, and educating our family and our friends about narcolepsy, especially in case of emergencies.
Okay, we gave you the official definition of narcolepsy, but we want you to understand more about it because of its chronic problems that come about. So Gail, why don't you tell them a little bit more about what kind of happens to you while you're in one of the cataplexy moments?
Okay. Well, first off, I'll tell you, excessive daytime sleepiness is being more tired than you've ever been, ever times 10. They estimate that a person with narcolepsy is functioning as though they've gone between 36 and 72 hours without sleep. So on a good day, I'm just exhausted. On those bad days, I'm much more apt to have a cataplexy spell. And that feels like someone has come up behind you and pushed you down underwater, like your brother in a swimming pool, and there's nothing you can do about it except wait until you float back up. I don't have muscle control, so if you were to lift my arm, it's just going to drop back down because I can't really move. I can hear absolutely fine. And so there's been times where, because people were not informed about what was going on, that it actually triggered me to have even worse, a much longer spell. It could be, 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes, but I could have a much longer spell when I'm around people that don't know about it because I hear them speculating. I've been accused of being on drugs, for example, of having a stroke, things like that, and you don't want people to think you're having a stroke when all it is that your body is just waiting to kind of control alt delete is a good way of putting it.
Yeah, I think another part of it is that you understand that her body will shut down at any moment, and she will, whether she's walking, whether it doesn't matter what's going on, it just automatically shuts down, and her brain tells her that her body needs to sleep, so she goes into this muscle thing, this paralysis, if you will, and we have to wait for her to come out of it. And there's no secret way to get her out of it other than then she will wake up on her own just to make her comfortable.
Now, you've probably seen people have narcolepsy spells or cataplexy spells on movies. I know American Gigolo, I think. Deuce Bigalow, American Gigolo. That was a famous one that people think about. It's not like that. It's not like I'm just walking and I drop. I actually have this feeling. I know when I'm extra tired. So now that I know what's going on anyway. So I am able to get somewhere, like sit on the floor, lay on the floor, that kind of thing, as long as I'm not fighting it. But I do know when they're coming on.
Sure. But when we were called to leave the church in Detroit, and to go full-time RVing, we knew that those safeguards that we've enjoyed for so many years about doctors, medication, all that, they're now gone.
Right. So yeah, we don't have those friends that I can just lay down with, or if I'm at a restaurant, I'm not at the restaurant where everyone knows me. So if I need to put my head down, it's no big deal. So now we're considering going totally outside of our comfort zone. So can we live full time in our RV while I have this chronic illness.
And that I'm a disabled veteran too, that also requires ongoing care through my doctors. And those questions arise: do I have to change doctors each time we move, and all those things,
which he definitely didn't want to do, because he's got the best doctor in the world. So here's some of the steps we did to figure out how we could balance RV life full-time and living with chronic illnesses and medical conditions. Number one was we had to do a lot of prayer. Psalm 37:4 says, "Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." Well, the desire of our heart was to be able to answer the call to be nomads for Christ, and also to be able to see our family more.
Yeah, we also wanted to follow the sun in order to alleviate some of Gail's symptoms.
Yes. The second thing we needed to do was talk to our doctors and check out our insurance coverage. We both found out that since Tim is retired military, we have TRICARE, which, praise God for that, because we are able to get medical care wherever. So I did speak with my primary care provider and my neurologist. I explained what we were called to do, and then I asked for advice on how to set up a care plan. They were awesome, because they ended up helping me to schedule my big tests in blocks, so that I only have to return to our home state of Michigan, once a year or something like that.
Yeah, and also, as I spoke to my VA doctor, and she connected me with a traveling veterans program. However, I know other veterans who are traveling as well,
Mm-hmm.
and they schedule all their big tests, their blood draws, all the big
Right.
tests that they have to do once a year. So they go back to their home state, and they handle all that stuff once a year. And then, of course,
Right.
while they're traveling, they have this traveling veterans coordinator that helps them out throughout that.
Yes, and it is awesome that when your doctor doesn't have to get the call that says, "Oh, by the way, I'm in, nowhere, Kansas, and I need help from you." If they already are tracking that you're traveling, then they're ready to get you the care that you need if something were to come up. The next thing was number 3 is medication delivery, because we both need medication, maintenance type medications. We needed to make sure that we could get them seamlessly. Now, since I'm in the private system, I use Express Scripts, which is a mail order program. They give you a 90-day prescription at a time. So for 3 months, I don't have to think about anything. And before we left, I called them and again let them know what was going on and asked how that would happen if I had to get them mailed to my old address and then have someone ship them to me. Nope. It turns out they know all about us. Between Fulltime Rvers and Snowbirds, they're really great about just saying, make sure you call about 2 weeks out and let us know what address to send them to. So you can have a default address. Otherwise, they will mail them to your updated address.
Yeah, same thing with the VA. They do the same thing. I just tell them where we're at. I give them an address, and they will mail them to there. Sometimes we know in advance where we're going to be,
Right.
and an address to send them out. So if we're close to family, we will go ahead and order it and send it right off to family even before we get there. So once we get there, we have what we need. And again, most medications will come in a 90-day
Right.
supply. So you have 3 months. We do have friends who have restrictions on the medication and how they're given out by the pharmacies, and they have to travel back to their home state every 3 months in order to receive that medication. But for 3 months, they're on the road doing the things that they want to do.
Exactly. So you do have to make sure that if you have controlled medications, that you understand what the regulations are before you head out, and that you know the regs for whatever state you're going to be in. I've got a couple of meds that, depending on the state, they won't let me have unless I have an original signed prescription on their form. So clearly I want to make sure that I have plenty to last while we're in that state. Okay. And then too, you want to just give a little extra time for those inevitable hiccups that'll happen, that maybe that pharmacy nearby is out of meds, or there's a problem like an ice storm, so that mail isn't being delivered. So another good option are national chain pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens that would be able to pull up your prescription. Number 4 is you need to plan for emergencies. because they are going to happen. Make sure you talk to your family members or close friends who can be your contacts during an emergency. Yes, the two of us are together, but what if there is something where neither of us is able to provide the information for the other? So we want to make sure that we have a few contacts that will have all of that information. You want to have this written down, not just in your phone. We all know that the phone can get lost or wet or just be out of charge. So you need that written out in a location that you can easily get to it, or that emergency personnel, when they get to your rig, can easily get to. And I have a medical bracelet thing. It's actually, can you see that? There. It's actually a silicone band that attaches to my watch wristband. So it has my medical condition, my name, Tim's name, and his phone number in case of emergency. That way, if I'm somewhere and I'm not able to talk, they can reach him and find out more information. These are $8.99 on Amazon, and you're able to put 5 lines of text on there. So I'll make sure that that link is down below. I bought 2. I have one for my wrist, and then I put one on my hiking boots, because if I'm gonna have an issue, it'll probably be out there in a mountain path somewhere.
Right, right. That brings us to number 5, and number 5 means to plan your travels to maximize your health. You know, Gail needs exercise and sunlight. I mean, we all do, right? So we plan to stop in those areas where we have many opportunities to do outdoor activities, and we have a membership with Active and Fit Direct, which comes through, you know, our bank through USAA membership, but they also come through insurance companies, health plans, and other things like that. Yeah. And what that is that it allows us with a fee per month to be able to go into different types of gyms and things like that as we travel. So we may be close to one type of gym where we're at right now, and then we travel to another area and spend 2 weeks there, and we're at a different kind of a gym that's there. And so we can look at those and we can go in there, and because of this program we're on, we can go there to work out as well, and it works perfectly for us as we travel.
Yes. And that actually works out well, just as an aside, for those who use their gyms to take showers. So you're never locked into a specific gym or a contract. You're paying through your insurance company or your healthcare plan or whatever. Yeah, it really works out well. So we've gotten to try some of the stuff out the hard way. Back in May, I was jamming on my cool new mountain bike, and I sort of fell, and I tore my LCL in my knee. Ow. And then Tim actually missed a step, and he sprained his ankle. So we've had a couple of times, both with the VA options and with the civilian care options, to just check things out and see how they work. And we can tell you that they worked really well. Of course, we already knew our insurance coverages and how to locate an emergency room. For the VA, it turns out you don't have to look for a VA urgent care. There's actually several, just going into the va.gov website, and you can search for an urgent care, and these are ones that you can go to, no copay, and they will accept veterans health benefits for you to get that urgent care. So that part's cool. And then for me, using our TRICARE, I'm able to pretty much go anywhere. However, thanks to our chasers, I was able to get referred to an emergency orthopedic urgent care clinic. So instead of going to urgent care and then them saying you need to follow up with an orthopedic doctor, I went straight to one. So I was able to get the x-rays and the care all in the same day, and that was awesome.
Sure. Now you can become a chaser by 2 methods. Number 1, you can of course go to our Facebook page, Chasing the Joneses, and you can click on there, and we'll definitely teach you and show you everything we got going on there. But also on this YouTube page, we really would like you to subscribe to it, and also to hit that notification bell so that you'll receive more. As we put out more videos, you receive those notifications that we're doing so.
Yes.
And so I guess the question we have to ask is this: do chronic medical conditions stop you from being a full-time RVer?
No, they don't. They may have a few extra challenges, but as you've heard, there's nothing that you can't actually overcome. That just a little bit of planning, a little coordination will not only make it work, but make it extra awesome and special for you. So our limitations do not have to limit us.
That's true. That's true. Well, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Again, please subscribe and hit that notification bell. I'm Tim.
I'm Gail.
And you're chasing the Joneses.
We'll see you down the road.
We'll see you.